Let's get to this Claude stuff.
Okay, so let me share my screen.
Okay.
So first of all, like, how far are you with Claude?
I've never used Claude ever, but I've
Is it
used a lot of ChatGPT.
okay? So let's dig into Claude. It's way better. Like so you got to just first download Claude, okay? And when you do, you have this. It's like there's three different versions of it. You can use Claude in your browser, just like ChatGPT, or you can use it on your phone like ChatGPT, like an app. But the best thing is on your computer to have sort of Claude like this, okay? Because when you have it like this, you get access to the chat, Cowork, and Code, okay? So these are three different systems built within Claude.
Okay.
And basically, chat is exactly like ChatGPT. It's just like talk to it, it gives you an
Yeah.
answer. It's pretty simple.
Now, earlier, like literally 20 seconds ago, you said Claude's better. Do you mean in like every facet? Could I stop my subscription with ChatGPT and or do they kind of work hand in hand? Like, sorry, go ahead.
So there's a couple websites you can check out. One of them is imarena.ai. And arena.ai here, you can click on this and uh, it will show you this is the current rankings of the AI models that exist right now. So the top one right now is Claude Fable and Claude Opus 4.8. Okay, now Claude Fable is the top AI model across the board, but it is not currently available. Now,
Okay.
you asked if Claude is so good, should you cancel ChatGPT? There are use cases for Gemini and ChatGPT mainly right now in the realm of image creation because Claude, although it's amazing at coding and reasoning, it doesn't have a built-in image generator. So
Hmm.
you can't go into Claude and be like, make me an image of a fish wearing a banana hat. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So right now, like Google has like Nano Banana, which was the top image creation, but recently ChatGPT 5.5 just took it over. So we can actually come here and look at let's see here. Oh, you can click image and it should show us the rankings for rankings across text to image. So yeah, ChatGPT 2 is the current top one, followed by Rev, which I'd never heard of before, and then Gemini. Right, so basically you come here and you can check what are the top models.
Oh,
And
interesting.
and even though like something, for example, says that ChatGPT is a better image model, that doesn't necessarily mean that like Gemini won't hit it out of the park. And oftentimes they're going to give you two different images and you play around with them. So, but other than that, I would say like other than video and image, I would say everything else I use Claude. And when it comes to image creation, there is actually a way that I want to talk to you about how you can hook up image creation capabilities into Claude. So, and when you do that, it really it like really floodgates your power with it.
Wow.
Um,
What I
so
think you should start with, Andrew, is kind of maybe as simple in terms as possible. And what Jordan would be using this would be Jordan would receive a convoluted PowerPoint from a realist from our dad, who's a real estate guy. He's got no creative, bone in his body or really any narrative control. It's just like vomiting text dump on a PowerPoint. And Jordan would come in and be like, let me take that PowerPoint, let me take that information, and let me spread it into a PowerPoint that actually is readable, beautiful, and digestible.
do you have that text
Presentable.
or that stuff right now? Can we try to make a mock copy of
Yeah,
it right
yeah,
now?
Jordan, do you have that?
Yeah, you want me to just send you just
Yeah,
some random deck that I've
yeah.
got from that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Send it to me. And we can try to see if we can crack the code on it together.
All
But
right. Let's see what I got here. Now, obviously, this goes without saying. My dad is super like stringent about his documents. He would be pissed knowing that I sent this, but like, this is for
Not
exercise
really.
tables.
Yeah,
well then
yeah.
maybe well then I don't know, we could do it, but also like I was telling Gian this would be cool to record this thing and use it as like a YouTube video for people who
Uh,
want to learn how to use it. So maybe we
Mhm.
don't
yeah.
use something sensitive for this, but then like what I'm going to show you how to do, you can do it on your own after this video and you'll know how to do it. It's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Um, so basically, look, how do you get this set up? First, you're going to go in, just go to Google, type in Claude. And like, are you using a Mac or a Windows computer?
Mac.
Okay, so you just type in Claude Mac OS download, and I think over here is where you'll find it. Just kind of download Claude. One of these links will be the one for you. Maybe this one right here, claude.com/download. Okay. So this is where you download it, install it like you would any other basic software. Pretty simple. So once you have it installed, uh, there are a couple of little settings that I want to show you. The first one is you can come into here and hit settings, and there's a couple things to be aware of. One is at the account level, right? Or sorry, at the usage level, right? Claude has different tiers, and so you can pay $20 a month for it. You can pay $100 a month for it, or you can pay um, $200 a month for it. If you pay, and I think there's a free version too, but the free version won't give you access to Claude Code or Claude Cowork, which is
Okay.
really where the power is. So you want to just like pay for it.
Yeah.
Start with the $20 a month plan, because even if you upgrade, it will prorate your bill. So
Oh,
like if you pay $20 a month and you want to upgrade, it'll just be $80 that month.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
go ahead and start with 20. Now, it used to be when I first got it that Claude was like, it almost didn't work at $20 a month because you would run through your usage limits super quick. And so I pay $100 a month for it and I never run out. So
Nice.
unless you're like an enterprise, you don't need the $200 a month plan. It might be that they changed it a little bit. So $20 a month might be good for most people, but try it. If it doesn't work, you may consider upgrading for $100 a month. I've already made my money back on it in spades. So like, even though it's, $100 a month can be expensive for some people, what you get back in time and energy is totally worth it, in my opinion.
Okay.
So that's something to think about. Now, um, okay. So just even show it here. Let's see, yeah, you can go to pricing. Let's see the overview. Okay. While that's loading, I want to show you. Oh, another thing also that's a kind of a helpful tip is just this is a personal choice, but in here you can also change like I have. Let's see here. You see how mine's like black or whatever. You can change in general. I think you can change the appearance so you can make it look like daytime white, which a lot of people do, but I like the dark
I
ones,
like
just
dark.
easier.
Yeah, I do dark
Yeah.
also.
You change your language and all this stuff, whatever you're working on, but it's pretty much everything is kind of good out the gate except for the language. And also there is an ability to add, let me see here. Where is it? You can add custom instructions that will like apply to all of your chats. I used to use it, but now I just leave it blank. But let's say like you had a use case where you only wanted to do, I don't know, you never wanted to use M dashes, or you never wanted to like use a certain trigger word or something, you could put that into these custom instructions that will apply
Interesting.
to all of the prompts. So you can do it at the account level.
Okay.
But for the most part, I keep this empty. And then the other thing is just once you start paying for it, keep your eye on the usage levels, because that can really be annoying when you're like working and you're in the flow, and then all of a sudden it's like you're out and you have to it has to reset in
Yeah.
a couple
Yeah.
hours. And then yeah, here's the pricing. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Looks like
Yep.
they even got rid of the $200 a month, or maybe because it only applies to enterprise. I don't know. But anyway, start with the pro and then go to the max. This is the current one.
Okay. How about, yeah, I'll send you a deck. Let's just run through it and I guess just,
Well,
delete
Andrew
that.
wants to use this video.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's
Oh,
good.
yeah,
No,
that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
so I'll just use like something I'm working on right now because I don't care if it gets out there.
Okay.
But uh okay. So so once you have it open and you kind of set up your basic like settings, just the first thing to understand is like how does the system work as far as like there's like three kind of tabs. Okay, so one is chat, which is just essentially chat GPT. You can ask it basic stuff like how was the weather in Miami today? Okay, and it'll do its thing. The next tab is Cowork. So Cowork is this is where like it starts to get really powerful. So in Cowork is like it basically it's not just chat. Now it has the ability to go and like do things for you. So chat is just like a question AI that you want. It's like a text-based AI. But Cowork is like imagine you're giving Claude like some hands and it can reach into your computer and start doing things. Okay.
Oh,
And this is where it starts to get really crazy because like, for example, I can have it like run certain tasks for me. I can have it go and I can connect it to different apps on my computer. I can have it like, for example, I have it connected to my Gmail and I have it connected to my Google Calendar. So I can say, and I have the skill built into it, and I'll explain what all these skills are later. But I have this thing I can say like run the morning brief. Okay. So now this thing is going to go out and it has like a skill called morning brief that it's going to run. And what this is going to do is go into my Gmail. It's going to check my calendar. It's going to check the weather in Miami. It's going to put together like my look at my emails, tell me what are the urgent emails, put it all together in a beautiful HTML file that I can review every morning. So when I
This is
wake up,
something that you trained it on for these specific tasks?
sort of like what I did is I basically like connected it to all these different tools, and then I built a skill which gives it a custom set of instructions on how to use those tools in a certain way. So let's just see what the end result is, and then I'll show you how it was built.
But you can build a
Because
skill through the chat. Like, hey, chat, I'm wanting to
right,
build a skill. The
Yep.
skill is this. Can you write me an MD file, which is the file that chat reads?
I'm listening.
right.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
That's really the beauty of AI is that like you don't have to be afraid of it because if you ever get stuck, all you have to do is ask the AI like, hey, how do I do this? And it will teach you.
Wow.
Right. So you can see like, it's taking longer than usual.
And then how do you link in all of these apps? Are you giving it your email address with password and
Yeah, you connect everything. Like you can see here, there's a context for the skill. It's connected to the web, so you can search on the internet. It's connected to Gmail and it's connected to my calendar. So that gives it everything that it needs to do. So it's running this.
Let's just get right into kind of just building a PowerPoint because I don't think Jordan's going to be using it to read emails or
Well, like you really want to. You're gonna want to like connect it to as many things as you can so that you have like you're basically like it's like you're turning it into just a little app into like a crazy assistant and it can really do crazy
yeah,
shit
that
for
would
you.
be awesome, to be
So
honest. Yeah.
look at what it just did. It just put together this morning briefing for me, right? So look, good afternoon. It's June 16th. Here's the weather in Miami. Okay. Here's today's focus. Like it knows what I'm trying to do with some, and it's telling me about like my GoDaddy thing needs to be renewed because it's looking at my emails. Here's my schedule for today. And then like what's coming up in the next couple days. And then like yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
It's showing my emails, and then I also have it giving me the current update in AI news, so that I can always like read every morning. I can just read these little bullet points, and it keeps me like up ahead of everybody, right? So pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Wow.
And you can even open in Google, and it opens the HTML file, so you have it really nice and beautiful right there. Okay,
Wow.
so yeah, that's a skill. Now um I want to show you like how to build a skill and how to hook it up to like all these apps because once you understand how to do that, then you can basically do anything. You can have it build out PowerPoints, you can have it build whatever.
Yeah.
So what you do is inside of Cowork, okay, or Code, it doesn't really matter, but you see there's a button here called Customize.
Mm-hmm.
You click on Customize, that's going to open up this. So you can say connect my apps, create new skills, and plugins. And plugins are just a collection of skills and apps that kind of are pre-built. But for the most part, you just use skills and connectors. So let's look at connectors. So out of the gate, when you hit plus and you hit browse connectors, these are all the connectors that are like these are all the apps that sort of already have an inbuilt feature with Claude that allow you to connect it fairly seamlessly. Okay. So what I would do is the first thing you do once you get Claude is open up connectors and scroll through all these different apps and look for any app that you use on a regular basis. And then just click plus and it'll kind of prompt you on how to walk through, like how to set it up.
Okay.
It's pretty simple. But like, look at that. There's tons of apps in here. You got
Yeah.
Spotify, you have Todoist, you have like Gamma, which is one I want to show you today. Um, you name it. There's some really cool stuff here. However, there isn't everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So what do you do if you have an app you want to connect it to, but you can't? There's not a built-in thing. Well, there is so that's those are the connectors that are sort of like built in. You click
Mhm.
this plus button, but then you can also hit add custom connector.
Hmm.
Okay. So if you add a custom connector, like for example, here's Higgsfield. Now Higgsfield, what is Higgsfield? This is something that you should learn about. This is a tool that allows you to generate images and video, which remember I told you are the missing component of Claude. How do you generate images and video within Claude? Well, there's another software called Higgsfield, and this is basically a place where I can create images and video. Instead of having to only use like one, like we were making ads for some like site that was to help. I was just put a prompt in and then make it. So like, let's say just as a test, do something here. I can go in here and like I get to select all the different image models. So basically, instead of having to go into ChatGPT and then go into Google and then go into here, I can just go into Higgsfield and I can select what image AI I want to use, and it will give me the result here. Okay. So I can go into like, let's use ChatGPT 2, and I can say I want high resolution. I want it to be like 16 by 9 or whatever. And I can say like, make a picture of a man holding up a prized fish catch or whatever. Just do it.
Yeah.
And you can create how many like batches you want, whatever. The point of this is like this is an image creation and a video creation tool. And if I can hook it up into Claude, then what I'm basically doing is I'm giving Claude the ability to go make images and then bring them back over to Claude and manipulate them. So this will do its thing. But how do I connect it? So if you have to sign up for an account with Higgsfield, and you have to buy credits, and it basically costs like $50 a month to get the credits here. There's a free version of it and a $10 version, I think. But it effectively like I think if you want to use all the stuff, you have to sort of get like a subscription model, which starts at $50
Because
a
a lot
month.
of what Jordan's gonna be doing is like building concepts and stuff like that, like taking like a plot of land of a picture of a plot of land and being like generate, a Whole Foods here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So this is like pretty advanced stuff when you're hooking up Higgsfield to this. Like if you were to make your images somewhere else, there is another way to just kind of bring them into Claude, but that means you have to just set it up a little bit more. So, okay, so excuse me. All right, so let's go back into Claude. Um, so anyway, that's just an introduction to like how to set up all these connectors and stuff so that it can work with other apps. But let's say you just want it to do like build you a PowerPoint.
Yes.
So like when I go into Cowork, let's say there's like a bunch of assets, like someone gives you a PowerPoint, okay, or someone gives you a text document or a group of images, and you want to hand those over to Claude. What you'll do is go onto your desktop and then create a new folder, okay, and then name the folder whatever you're working on, okay. So like, right. So I'm making a movie about Miami right now. Okay. So I'm gonna just as an example, I'm gonna make this little movie. I'm gonna drop my image asset into it. And I also have an early PDF of the treatment here. Okay. With like some text.
Yep. Yep.
Just find the text document. Yeah, there it is. So I'm gonna drop these assets in here. Okay, so now by doing this, I'm basically like, then I can open up a new chat, and instead of saying work in a I can click work on a project and then select choose a different folder. Okay. So when I click on this folder, I'm basically able to basically what I'm doing is I'm going to say like, what I'm doing here is I'm going to be like, hey, I'm about to give you a set of custom instructions, and I want you to have access to certain assets in order to manipulate them or use them in the instructions, like in your task. And so I just have to kind of like put everything in a folder and then point Claude to the folder. So this is the Miami movie, right? And then I
Can
just have
can
to
can can the folder have multiple items in it and you
yeah, it can have multiple items and it can have subfolders, right? You just want to make sure you give it access to the root folder and then everything in it. So right now in this example, I'm just putting everything into this folder on the desktop, which is fine. But if you look over here in the right corner, I have a folder called AI Brain, and I click into here and it has like a lot of context for like who I am, what my personality is, what are my hobbies and interests. And then I have a subfolder called projects. And in here, these are different projects that I'm working on in film, music, stock trading, different little like companies and ideas I'm working on. So I can either give it to like, I can just point it to like this specific folder if I want to work on this project called the Backdragon. Or if I want to give it to like, if I want to ask it a very meta question about everything I'm working on, I can just point it to the AI brain and give it access to everything in here.
Hmm.
So it's like, so that's kind of a best practice is like setting up your space so that you sort of have like an AI project folder and then you put all your subfolders in it. So right now, but just for this example, I'm just putting it and giving an example to the Miami movie. Now, I'm not sure this is going to work because I'm on Zoom and it's using my microphone, but I have another piece of software that I find makes my productivity like 10x, maybe not 10x, maybe 2x, which is this software here called Super Whisper. I don't know if you can see it. The Super Whisper is basically a transcription software that will, let's see if it's on. So it's loading. But basically, this will allow me to, yeah, I don't know if you can see this. Can
You
you
Yeah.
can
see
see
a
it.
little like green thing?
Yep.
So this is listening to my voice as I'm talking. And then when I click it, it will transcribe what I said. Okay.
Okay, wow.
So, and it uses a little AI filtering to like clean up the text. But I really like this because it allows me to just voice vomit dump like my ideas into the AI. And it cost $8 a month for this, but I find it really speeds me up. So
Interesting. Do you think that'll
yeah,
be a feature that Claude will
they sort of have one,
someday?
right? They
Okay.
have one right here. See this little like this little button
Yep.
here? You can use this. I like Super
Okay.
Whisper because I find it a little bit more accurate, and also I can use it for like I can use it outside of Claude, so I use it for my emails and whenever I'm just like texting someone on WhatsApp.
Hmm.
So it's just a bonus. You don't need it. You can try you start with this, but if you ever feel like you want to get a little, if this isn't working for you or you want to speed up, use
Yeah.
the get Super Whisper.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just use Super Whisper real quick, and I'm gonna give it some instructions. Hey Claude, inside of the folder, you're going to find a couple documents that are all rough drafts of a treatment I am putting together for a movie called Miami Now, which is a musical about Miami. There's an image there, which is the poster. Use that image, and then there is a PDF, which is an early version of the treatment, and a Microsoft Word document that has the text of the treatment. Can you please synthesize all this together in a beautiful PowerPoint presentation for me? Okay. So I just put that in there. Let's see what happens. Now, this is going to take a second because it's got to build it. It's got to do its
Yeah.
whole thing. But
Yeah.
one of the beauties of Claude is that like you can have multiple projects going on at once. So like the PowerPoints that I've done in the past have been a little bit like iffy when it comes to Claude, but it because especially if I don't give it image assets. In this case, it has the image in the poster, so it's probably going to do a pretty good job of putting together this PDF. Um, I mean, putting together this PowerPoint. We'll see what happens.
Hmm.
But in the meantime, I'm going to do in tandem, I'm going to do a very similar version of this. I'm literally going to copy this prompt. I'm going to create a new task, okay? Because you can have multiple tasks running at once. And like, that's a good, a lot of times people will prompt it and then wait for it to finish. I usually have something going in chat and a couple things in Cowork and then something in code all going on at once.
Hmm.
That's pretty cool. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put the same thing in here, but instead of saying put it together in a PowerPoint, I'm going to say put this into a Gamma presentation. Let's see, 16 by 9 aspect ratio.
You got to spell presentation.
You don't even need to spell it right because it will figure it
Wow.
out. Like don't even let yourself get too slowed down on typing everything correctly.
Now, what kind of
Because it,
computer do you have? Because I know this probably takes a lot of computer bandwidth and RAM and all that.
dude, I have a 6-year-old iMac from 2020. It's got a lot of RAM on it, and it's like a desktop. It's pretty sick, but it's not like some crazy, Apple
Yeah, Jordan,
Silicon.
your MacBook, brand new MacBook Pro will be just fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, the thing is also something to realize is that so this is weird. It's telling me that the API is overloaded. Retrying now. I don't know what this is about. Sometimes the connectors get, oh look, it looks like it figured it out.
Okay.
But let's see here. And this is
Tell them
something
what
that
Gamma
also,
is real quick though.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, so Gamma is, if we go into here and you connect in my connectors, I have uh I have Canva, which is also another resource to making PowerPoints, right? Have you ever heard of
Yeah.
Canva? You know
Yep.
Canva?
Yep.
So Gamma is a similar thing to Canva, except it's more specialized for making websites.
Mm.
So you what you do is you again you set up a Gamma account, and then this is like it basically is an AI text to website builder, but I wouldn't use this if you were making any like an online web store or anything like that. This is just really good if you want to send someone like a simple like a like a simple deck or like a website like a deck that lives as a website. So log into this. I'm going to show you some examples of what I built with it.
And remember too, Jordan, you can go right into chat right away. Like right when you install it, you can be like, "Hey, I'm, brand new at this. I really my goals are I want to be able to create a presentation for my real estate company. I'll be able to have a lot of, location photographs, but my weaknesses is in terms of synthesizing the information into a deck that's readable, and I would love this to have like a beautiful presentation. Can you run me through like step one on how to get this started?" And it'll actually go, okay, step one, get a Gamma account. Well, it'll start like you can actually use it to teach you and go step by step.
Got
Oh
it.
yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. So like check this out. This is like here, this is what I made with Gamma, and I literally this was just like I used AI to create a prompt, and then it created this website. So um like this was to make a pitch presentation for I wanted to make a musical about this musician Rufus Wainwright. So I made this little thing. All the images need to be like updated, but this is just version one. It
Wow.
came out pretty
Yeah.
good. And then you can see also like I have another pitch that I'm doing right now for this documentary about this Chinese beauty pageant. And again, it just made all this with just AI. Like I didn't sit here, I didn't format this, I didn't pick the colors. It even
Wow.
generated these images for me, you know. And then you go in and you can add like custom images. So you'll see here, there's like a picture of our producer here. There's a picture of me here, and then you can like put links in. So that's Gamma. And you can do websites or you can do just straight up like PowerPoint presentations. Okay. So you have, so there's Gamma and there's Canva, and both of these plug in as connectors into Claude. So you can basically like prompt Claude what you want. And as long as it's hooked up, it will build first drafts into these softwares and then you can like iterate on them. So let's take a look at what it built. I think let's see if it's finished with see this little green like orange dot next to this.
Yep.
That means that it like requires our input. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, okay, it wants some questions before it begins. It's like, who's the primary audience for this deck? Okay, I'm gonna say investors. How deep should the deck go? Let's just say tight and punchy. And it's gonna do its thing. So it might take a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's building out a Gamma presentation. Okay. So yeah, it's as simple as that. And what will happen, well, sometimes it'll actually, like if you have a PowerPoint presentation and you put it into a folder, it should be able to go and mess with it. And if
Because
for
I've
some
done
reason,
that with ChatGPT and it's come out.
yeah,
Like
I
I've
mean,
uploaded it and just said clean it up or do, make all your suggestions. And oh, okay, here it is. And it looks like a 4-year-old did it with a crayon.
right. So again, that's why I would like it might be try it. I would say natively with PowerPoint. Then if that doesn't work after a while, try Canva and try Gamma. Gamma for presentations has been my favorite because that's what Gamma was built to do. Is like it's literally built for AI prompts to presentation. Whereas like Canva, that was not its initial intention, and definitely PowerPoint is late to the game. You're basically relying on Claude to do it. Now, two other things I might mention is that you can kind of like spruce up Claude's power. We talked about adding the connectors here, but we didn't really talk about skills. So a skill is basically a set of custom instructions. And I have different types of skills in here, and you can get them from github.com, and you can just Google, like look at Reddit for like really good skills packs. You basically just download these skills that people build. Or if you find yourself doing something over and over again, like like if you build a certain website in Claude Code and then you like love this style, you can be like, hey, Claude Code, I want you to build a skill around this process that we just did. And then it will go through what you just did and figure out like the action that it took and create sort of a skill set that it can then deploy for the future if you want to redo it.
Like for
So,
instance, Jordan, your Redevco will have they've got, blue and green are their colors, right?
mhm.
And you have a clean professional look. And if you start building your own presentation and you go, wow, I really like that presentation, then what Andrew's saying is now you can build a skill going, hey, build me a skill, how you built this template.
Yeah, it's like a theme. Like you have
Yeah.
a theme. Yeah, I got it. Cool.
All right, so it's sort of okay. So this is building its thing. Another thing you can try, like I'm gonna build it. I'm gonna do this in. You can do this in Cowork or chat. I'll do it in Cowork. But let's say this is gonna. Let's say okay. I'm looking to build a brand new real estate development in downtown Miami. Can you please put together a HTML presentation about the merits of building and developing in Miami right now? Our building is called the Jordan Premier Castle, and it's a 55-story building with a sleek modern design that you can come up with. You have my permission, and just make a cool HTML file with animations and that will wow our investor. Okay. So this is complete random nonsense. Okay. I just asked it to build this presentation, but I want to show you what will happen if you build like an HTML file. Because this is basically like I'm not telling it to use Gamma. I'm not telling it to build a PowerPoint. I'm just saying use an HTML and like you design it. I'm letting Claude take over. So you can kind of see Claude's own inbuilt design. And this is what I did for the presentation I gave the like the special needs coaches, Gian. They made this beautiful HTML. I basically said
I
like, hey,
showed Jordan that. Yeah.
yeah, and it just did it with HTML. And then after I liked the look, I was like, hey, turn this into a PDF, and it did. Right? It took a couple like passes, but it did. Um, so it's gonna do its own thing here. Now you can see here, this is asking me for some input. Okay, I don't even read these things sometimes. I'm just like, yeah, I trust you, go. Best practice is to read it to make sure it's not doing anything crazy. And I will say, if you have any special assets, like let's say you have something that you want to give it into the folder, make a copy of it. Okay. Like make a copy of what you want and then put it into the folder so that anything that it does in the folder, it like, if for some reason there's a glitch and it corrupts the files, it won't actually matter because you'll have a backup. Okay.
Mm.
So that's just a best practice. Like, don't let Claude take control over something that's super sensitive or super, meaning to say that you only have one version of it.
So have like an original file named and then an AI.
Yeah,
Yes.
like remember how I put things into this little folder here, you know?
Yep.
Just keep it separate from your original files. Like make your folder and then copy everything into it so that you have the
Okay.
original. And then that way it's playing around with copies and you don't have to sweat.
Got it.
Like,
Got it. That makes a lot of sense.
okay, so we're building right now, we're building a PowerPoint, we're building a Canva presentation, and we're building an HTML. While that's happening, I still wanted to talk to you about the skill button. Okay. So all these skills are like kind of things that have been either I have done before in the past, and I was like, hey, do this again and make it a skill so I can do this every morning. Or this is something that I downloaded from somebody else. And some of these are really cool. Like this one is front end design. So this is a skill that is like basically telling Claude to like go back and really think about the front end looks of things. Look at the color, look at the motion, like don't use generic AI. These are like skills that some people built online to help to basically like ungate Claude's design abilities. Okay. And there's one called Humanizer. So sometimes I'll write text and it'll come out very like AI sounding. I can just go run the Humanizer skill on this, and then it will take the text and make it sound like somebody actually wrote it, you know? Um, so there's all these different skills, and I would just invite you to like go on YouTube or go on Reddit and look for people who have some skills, play around with them. Like one of them I use is like colorize. Maybe this will help me like make the colors on an HTML project look better. And we can use that colorize one as an example. Once it builds out the HTML file, I'll just say, hey, run the colorize skill on it, and then we'll see what it does to the color, you know? So
Is
look,
that is that already built into Claude, or did you have to download Colorizer or install Colorizer
you have to download it. So like I have, if we go into my AI brain, I have in here
skills?
skills, and then um, like all the skills. Let's see here. So like this is a specific skill. Actually, sometimes this is in my AI brain folder. Actually, it exists in some sort of an application folder somewhere deeper in the system. So these are not where my skills actually live.
Okay.
Uh, but basically, you download them and they come in the form of MD files, which is short for Markdown file. A markdown file is a file that looks like kind of this, and it's basically written, it's a text file. It's just a
Hmm.
text file that has a special like uh
Instruction.
instructions on it that is really easy for the AI to understand.
And
So
where do
you
you
can
get
just
these MD
go,
files?
well, you just go onto GitHub, or you can just type in like GitHub Claude skills, or you can go on YouTube and search what are the best Claude skills, and like you'll find like repositories and people talking about it. You can see it like here's someone talking about these. There's literally like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of skills out there. It's
Huh.
it's because anyone can build them, but you can go online and people will like upvote them, and you can see like um you know and honestly, if you don't even use these skills, it's not like a big deal, but sometimes you can find one or two that are pretty cool. So I would just like spend some time exploring. What happens is when you get it, you literally just download like you go into let's see here. Yeah, you might come into here, here's the skills, and then you can click on like mm, here's a web app testing skill, and then you just like you download these files, put it into a folder, and then say, hey, here's a skill, here's the files you need, add it into Cloud, and then it will do it for you. It'll like make the skill for you.
Wow.
So but literally, this is like a deeper subject, so I would just go on YouTube and type in like what are the best skills for Claude in 2026, and I'm sure you'll find something that'll help you like take it to the next level.
Yep. Yep.
So we talked about skills, which are like custom, basically like a custom set of instructions, and then you have like connectors, and then there are plugins, and the plugins are just literally like pre-packaged skills and connectors, and you can just click on plugins, and sometimes you'll find you can create one, or you can browse plugins. And a lot of these ones that are made by Anthropic, who is the inventor of Claude, right? Like actually made by Claude. These are some like pre-built skills, and you can just look through these and see if there are any that might be interesting to you.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, like here's a PDF viewer one that will allow you to sign PDFs or whatever. Um, okay. Let's see if anything is ready yet. Oh, look, here's okay, look, the Jordan Castle presentation is ready. Look at that.
Oh my God.
The Jordan Premier Castle. Okay. Miami isn't emerging, it has arrived. Okay. So look at this. This is pretty crazy, huh?
And Jordan, you can then use this HTML URL, put it into redevco.com, and then have like a privacy backed area for investors. Be like, hey, here's all of our list of projects. Use this password to then you click on this button, and then all of a sudden this appears.
Interesting. Wow.
Crazy, huh? So this is like a first draft that we just made. I just literally like vomited this prompt out and it looks amazing. It even brought like Miami-based colors. Like it
Yeah.
looks cool. And this is just version one, right? So I could go in and now I could say that's good, but please do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Okay.
Holy
And then
shit.
like and HTML is it's like Claude is really good at building an HTML. So if I had just said build this in PowerPoint, maybe it would work, but it wouldn't have all these cool like animations and stuff,
Mm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's really cool, huh?
Jesus Christ.
Crazy, right? And
Yeah.
that's just version one. And then you could like, you know, so the sky's really the limit. I would just invite you to just like go crazy with it. So this is the PowerPoint presentation. So maybe let's see how this looks. Okay, it built a PowerPoint and then put it into Google Drive. So, oh no, it put it into our folder. Okay, let's open it up. Okay, we're opening up PowerPoint. Okay, so remember, this is just a first draft.
Yep.
And like, okay, the poster looks a little weird with the shading, but like I can come in here and I can edit it, you know? I can
Mm-hmm.
click on this, I can like remove, I can pull this back. There we go. Okay. And look at this. A dirt poor Cuban singer fleeing the revolution and a Jewish heiress fleeing the life chosen for her fall in love with the kitchens of 1959 Miami. Okay, this is not a great log line. Like I don't
Yeah.
know where I
Yeah.
got this. But you know what? For the setup and for how it looks, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's like 90 something percent there. You just,
Yeah, it's crazy. And what
Yeah,
I
you
could
still have to
do
do
is
a little work, you know.
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you don't even have to do that much work because I could come in here and be like, all right, that's really cool. But I could literally come into here, put my tab here, hit, open up Super Whisper, and then be like, all right, I'm looking at the PowerPoint presentation. It looks really good. I love the colors. However, I don't like the log line. Please rework it based on Hollywood standards. And then let's see, I like the third page looks good. So does the fourth page. I don't like the names of the people that you put for the Jewish heiress and the Cuban rumba singer. Plus, like, it shouldn't be Cuban rumba, it should be Cuban salsa. Change the name to like Rodrigo, change the Jewish girl's name to Sarah. Uh, and also give us better names for all the people around them in the on slide uh let's see, on slide 6. Okay, so that's just like an example, but like I can just do this, close this out while it's doing its thing and go have lunch, like it's and then see what it does the next pass. Like
God, dude.
the amount of time that this thing saves is insane. That's why it's worth $100, even even
Yeah.
if you get gated at $20, it's for people who have lots of ideas and they just want to be able to implement, you
Yeah.
know? So okay, now like Gamma is also finished. Let's take a look at Gamma. So we saw an HTML file and we saw PowerPoint. Now we're looking at Gamma. The one thing we're not going to look at is Canva, which is another one you can explore if you want. But so again, we're trying this for this musical. Okay, again, it took the image and it created something really weird. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you could see how I could just come in here and swap out the image that I already have, right?
Yep.
One log line. Okay. You know, that's pretty cool, I could come in here and I could like copy and paste this, bring it into Higgsfield, tell it the change the title here because you can see like a lot of these image AI models, they don't do good at getting the text right.
Yeah.
But the Chat GPT one, it's amazing at it. So I could take this image, copy and paste it, bring it into Chat GPT and have it change the text.
Wow.
Look at this. Like and again, I would swap out these images, but the text and like the layout, pretty good,
Yeah.
you know, for a
Yeah.
first pass. Like this is pretty crazy.
It's very crazy.
Okay, so that's Gamma. And the last thing I would mention to you is Claude Code, which is like the sort of the most advanced of all of them. And really, Cowork is actually built with the same engine as Claude Code. So there's a little bit of a different use case. So Cowork, I want you to think of Cowork as like an assistant. Chat is just like a research buddy that you do research with. Cowork is like an assistant that you use connectors and skills to give hands to, and then it go out and do things for you.
Got it.
And then code is for building something from scratch. So like if you want to make a video game or an app or a website or like you have an idea for a cool any kind of piece of software, that's where Claude Code comes in. And so this is like doing work for you. This is like building product for you.
Mm.
So if you wanted to vibe code like a tool that was basically like your own building like this, you could do that. You could build your own AI to PowerPoint builder if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's more advanced stuff, but like it's really, if you want to make a product and make a lot of money in 2026, your best bet to do it is to like give yourself a software idea of some kind and then start messing around with vibe coding. And dude, it's so fun and it's so easy, especially when you learn how to do it. Because all you do is like you point it to a folder the same way you would with Claude Cowork,
Mm-hmm.
start telling it your vision. You're like, I want to do this, and this. Help me do it. And then it'll be like, all right, well, have you thought about this? And you start talking to it, and it'll start building it and coding it. And then, you have to figure out how do you host it, what's the front end look like, what's the back end look like. But you can ask it how to do that, and it will guide you. And you can even say like, what's the best thing for if I want it to do these things, and what's the cheapest. It'll just guide you. It's really really cool.
Like for
And that's
instance, like Jordan, you have your redevcollc.com and being like, look, I'd love to redo my website. I would love for there to be a portal for investors to see our projects, but it would need to be password protected. So because these are proprietary documents, we are, specializing in real estate and renewable real development. Can you, look at my website and then create me an HTML that
Yeah.
I could then switch over to that host.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So like right now, I'll just shamelessly plug what I'm working on right now, which is that I'm building a platform for attorneys to get motor vehicle accident leads. Okay. Like my uncle's a personal injury attorney and he wants leads for people who just got into a car crash. So
Mm.
I went to Claude Code and I told it how I wanted to make like basically a lead capture system that is basically like an app that someone can use in exchange for their email that will tell them how much money an insurance company is kind of like will be willing to pay them if they get into a car crash. So
Wow.
using Claude Code, I just talked to it and I built this. I built autoaccidentcheck.com. Okay. And it made this website. Okay. I had to do some tweaking to it to get the exact design I want, but you click start a free assessment, and now it has this like quiz that it built. So it built a quiz funnel for me that's like, oh, were you just in a car crash? What kind of car? I was in an SUV and I got hit by a pickup truck and it was a head-on collision. And it was clearly the other driver's fault. Okay. And they were going 45 miles an hour. So you basically fill this thing out. And then at the end of it, it asks for your information. And then in exchange for your information, it will give you the result. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is like an idea I'd had for a while, but I was able to build this tool using Claude Code.
Yeah.
And it's just incredible, man. I highly recommend that you like play with this and look for opportunities to use software to interrupt and like disrupt an industry. Like as you go through your working life, you're going to see a problem that no one else sees because you're the one working on it at the moment.
Yeah.
Like Gian right now is doing a cool project. I won't mention what it is exactly in case he doesn't want me to say it on this video, but he was doing something where he saw like a unique opportunity where some like he needed a tool that no one had built yet. So
Yep.
he built it, and now because he built that tool, like years ago, it would have taken him 5 years and half
Yeah.
a million dollars worth of like paying for software engineers to like actually make the thing. Now he's able to do it in a week with just vibe coding. So so I
Yeah,
have another idea.
Jordan uses that software actually.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like use this stuff to get ahead in your 9 to 5, 100%. Like you're working for this real estate company, do it. But then ask yourself, what would be a tool that the real estate company would benefit from and
Yeah.
build that. And then when you show that to your boss, that's where you're going to be like, they're going to be like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll give you one more example. Like I am considering building like a lead gen system for like people who want sort of like blue collar work. Like I want to build a little funnel for anyone looking to get their garage cleaned out. Okay. But that's pretty easy to like put an ad on Instagram and have people hit me up if they're looking to clean their garage. But I don't want to do the garage work. I want to have like a team of like college students or people who are like blue collar workers who need like a quick day job. So in order for me to like manage them, I'm going to vibe code an app that I can hire someone. They download this app, and then the app allows them to take payments from the person once they complete the job. And what they have to do is they have to take a photo on the app of the dirty garage, for example, or like let's say they're hired to do a pressure washing gig. Maybe they have to take a picture of the before and the after. They have to upload it to the app. Then I get a text message on my end that says, "Hey, look, they did a good job." Once I click OK, then they go and they get approval from the owner, and the owner pays them through the app. I get my share and they get their share. And it's like it allows me to run my business with something that I built.
Yeah.
So
It's like an escrow company, like
yeah.
basically
But
determining
the
if the job was done, they can release the
but,
fund type of thing.
Yeah.
but the point of it is that like in order for me to do this in an efficient way, I need a piece of custom software that I couldn't have
Mhm.
made a year ago. And
Yeah.
now like this is like almost like the singularity theory. I had a friend of mine who said that the way that man and machine is merging is that the AI is turning everyone into a software engineer. And I was like,
Wow.
oh my God, that's kind of crazy and kind of true because once you start messing with this level of Claude, dude, you can ask Gian, like, you can't sleep. It becomes the most fun video game you've ever played because like there's real money to be won. And it's also just like it feels like magic.
Yeah.
If that is if you have a very clear vision of what you want to build.
Wow. It's like you can cater software to yourself
Yes.
without, it's not like this universal Google app that everyone uses. It's like you're creating something specifically for your needs and
Yeah.
Yeah, and for
For
your
instance, I
industry.
was like, when our mom was coming to take over, like watch our house, watch our apartment while we were going on vacation, I had to make all these videos, like here, mom, this is how you work the coffee pot. This is how you work the air conditioning. And I was like, I should just build an app that has like buttons that goes like air conditioner, coffee
yeah.
maker, all these
Yeah.
different buttons. Then she would click on it and then see a video. That
Yeah.
way she's not looking through her text messages going, huh?
Yeah. 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 That's wow.
Dude,
Wow.
it's really, really crazy, man. Like I would say like, yeah, just really start to look for problems that you can solve with software because Like I really think that's how like if you look at these interviews with Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Sam Altman, they're all saying the same thing, which is that in the next like 3 years, there's going to be more millionaires made than there have been in the last 30. And the reason they say that is because of vibe coding. It's because everyone can be a software engineer now. It's really crazy.
let me tell my dad. I'll call him right back. Just I'm gonna mute myself.
Well, cool. Well, I'll let you guys go.
Yeah.
I wanted since we might edit this video and put it up on like Facebook or YouTube for people to check out. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna mention in the video real quick that if anyone out there watching this wants to reach out to me, my email is just my name, andrew.aidman@gmail.com. And yeah, if you want help implementing these AI tools or processes in your company, let me know and we can talk.
All right. Thanks, Andrew.
Cool. You got it, my
Problem.
guys.
No,
I'll catch you later.
thank you very much, man. Seriously, appreciate it.
Dude, anytime, man. My pleasure.